And speaking of aging in an ideal way, we actually have a few questions, and here's one of them.
So, Dr. Mike, your book is called The 17-Day Plan to Stop Aging. Now, can you really stop the aging process?
So I guess it depends on what you're talking about. You can't stop the years from going by.
Right. You know, I think it's maybe not stopping the aging process, but doing it more gracefully and slowing it down.
So let's go through some of the things that cause quote-unquote aging.
So inflammation is one of the main things. We all think of inflammation as like joint pain and arthritis, but I think the thing to keep in mind is inflammation can occur everywhere in the body. We can have acute inflammation, you know, you hit your hand with a hammer and you get that acute red swelling, but chronic inflammation is what can do the damage to a lot of the organs if it hangs around. So things like vitamin D and omega-3 and a lot of these things, fish oil, are extremely helpful. Oxidative stress is another thing. Everybody hears about antioxidant foods, you know, and what does that mean? Well, what we're doing with oxidative stress or antioxidant foods is we're slowing down a lot of the processes that affect our bodies, you know, on several levels.
Speaking of oxidative stress, every time you breathe, you're breathing in oxygen. So oxidative stress is a normal reaction in your body, but due to oxidative stress, free radicals are formed. So this has been exposed to oxygen for maybe 10 minutes. You see how it's browning? That right there is an example of oxidative stress, as is the rust that you see in your pipes over time. What is so interesting, and I think we have an animation of this, of oxidative stress, is you mentioned it's all about free radicals.
Right. It's those unstable molecules in our body that fly around trying to stabilize themselves. And when they do, they damage tissues. So this is about eating right. It's not about a handful of pills. That's what we're trying to get away from. We can get a lot of these things and prevent these oxidative stress or reduce it by eating the proper foods.
So you never again have to ask us, what is an antioxidant? What an antioxidant is these free radicals go around and they want to hurt you. They want to hurt your cells. They want to break your DNA apart. They want to cause cancer. They want you to look older. They want you to look terrible and feel terrible.
Wrinkles.
Wrinkles,
Oh,
all
yeah,
these
it's
things.
all about them free radicals.
Antioxidants, those are the wonderful things in our foods that you get when you eat an apple. They actually get in there, they scavenge up those free radicals so they can't destroy and damage your DNA. That's how you live better and live longer.
You know, this is the template for every cell in the body. And when you look at the DNA, when you're damaging your DNA on whatever level it is, replication or duplication or the growth of it, you're damaging every organ in the body. And so I think, you know, the take home is that there are everything that we eat and the things that we don't do, if we're not active, really has an impact on everything.
So inflammation, very closely tied to oxidative stress. And then you're going to talk about
We talk about glycation. It sort of creates this sort of stiffness in the heart. You know, we all want our heart and our lungs to be elastic and sort of move freely. What happens with glycation is it can cause more of the stiff heart. And it can cause stiffness in the lungs and in the joints. And again, every body's, you know,
The
every
skin,
system.
too.
Absolutely.
We know that glycation plays a big part in aging your skin.
Absolutely.
A lot of Asians going on. What's the
It's
next
all
one?
about, how about methylation? And methylation has to do, again, with diet and a lot of the things that we take in with our diet that can affect how our DNA is structured and how it's impacted. And then lastly is what we all hear about, immunity and immune impairment. And the immune system is just critical. You know, there's innate immunity, there's that sort of adaptive immunity, but if we don't develop these things and maintain them, everything gets into trouble.